So the topic of group today, we're going to be talking about how substance abuse affects your children. So how many of you have children?
The drug problem in Nevada has consistently been escalating over the years. Helping lead the charge to recovery is licensed alcohol and drug counselor Karen Luce.
So Drug Court is a program that was developed probably 10 to 12, more than 10 years ago, because I've worked with them for 10 years. So it's an alternative for people who get felony drug-related charges. And if they participate in Drug Court, which is anywhere from 12 to 18 months typically of treatment, and they have to be assigned a random color where they call every day, so it's random drug testing, requiring them to check in every day to see if they have to test. They have to go to court every 2 weeks and check in with the judge about their progress. And they have to go to AA meetings and a lot of groups. It starts off at 9 hours a week at a substance abuse group. That's called an intensive outpatient program. After they participate in IOP for about 3 months, then they can drop down to 2 groups a week, and then it goes to 1 group a week. And then at the end of that program, they're not going to groups at all. They're just going to meetings, 12-step meetings, and going to court. So I want you to take a minute and think about kind of where you are at this point in your life and what effect your addiction has had, not just on you, but on the people around you, and especially your kids. In my private practice, I end up working with kids whose parents have addiction issues, and so I see the other side of the coin there, and it has a pretty profound effect. So does anyone want to think about that for a minute and then tell me what you think? Like, do you think your children have been affected by your addiction?
Luce has begun to see a rise in younger clientele for reasons ranging from drug abuse to anxiety.
Recently I've been seeing a lot of teenagers. Actually, in the last, I would say 2 or 3 months, there's been a dramatic increase in the number of suicidal teenagers, teenagers with significant depression. I don't know exactly what to attribute that to, but I'm guessing possibly it might be related to just anxiety around the election and kind of where things are in our culture right now. But another thing I do here is I work with children, and often the children that I see are children of addicts, and I have a fair number of children of addicts on my caseload right now, and those are sad stories often, because those kids are often growing up without one parent, sometimes without both parents. So they may be in the foster care system or being raised by a grandparent or a family friend or, someone else.
It's unlikely that Nevada will ever see an end to the drug problem, but with people like Luce at the reins of recovery, we can sleep easier knowing that many drug users are receiving the help they need to eradicate this dangerous addiction.
It's a significant issue in our society, and I'm afraid it's only going to get worse, especially with kind of legalization of different substances and how accepted they're becoming. I don't necessarily think that marijuana, for instance, is inherently terrible, but I do think that our society is becoming much more reliant on substances to change how we feel and how we perceive things, and I think that that's a slippery slope.